Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
And it was the road to Odense. It was a journey we all wanted to share on here for the ESL Pro League, but we've come towards, I guess, partially an end before we find our top teams. Hello and welcome back. My name's Jake Penko. I got Mitch Pilipowski here, also known as Pilly, and we're jumping straight back into it in another best of three, this time with Na'Vi taking on Ghost.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Getting into the last couple of games here in terms of the elimination matches, and only a couple of teams left to go through to the playoffs.
Yep.
Who will it be? I mean, most people would probably be leaning towards Na'Vi there, Jake.
Yeah, look, what we just saw, though, if anyone missed out, Renegades did qualify over G2 2-1, so unfortunately G2 have missed out on their opportunity, but people saying G2's dead, you know, the roster's flip-flopping all over the place, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that maybe next time we come around to the EPL. This time we're talking about Na'Vi and their story, maybe their success story over teams like Order originally, 16-14, on a very crucial train. But for Na'Vi, still second best team in the world, still expectations going into this.
Yeah, a bit of a debate there. I mean, Astralis clearly the number one. You know, you'd be probably looking at Na'Vi as the number two, but due to the fact that Liquid don't really close a whole lot of tournaments. But, you know, interesting to see. I suppose this will be a little bit of a solidifying factor for them versus Liquid in that debate based on how well they do in this tournament in particular. But they're going to have to make their way through Ghost. Ghost, you know, it was a close one between them and NRG. Ended up being a three-mapper, but Ghost were able to prevail, which is already a very impressive result for them, beating a team that's in the top 10 as a team that's started to come to more and more premier tournaments and started to really prove their worth and turn some heads here. Beating a team like Na'Vi is going to be a whole nother task, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, they started with NRG, Na'Vi, that extra step up there for Ghost Gaming, but there's this idea now that they're making themselves the king. They are making themselves the champion. They have one more roadblock, and in the form of Na'Vi, you could imagine if Na'Vi don't make it forward, if they're stopped by someone like Ghost, then we start asking the question where Ghost may truly sit moving forward with the rest of the EPL.
Oh, that'd be a huge jump up. I mean, beating two teams in the top 10 is going to be a massive jump up in terms of the rankings. It would definitely be basically what you'd want for a team like Ghost to be able to make it through to the playoffs. You know, they're a team that had a really good run in the online season of the NA Pro League. The same similar story for a team like Renegades with some rookies on both sides. So Renegades making it through to the playoffs up against the opposition of G2. Not as difficult of a task compared to having to try to take out the world number 2 to get yourself a spot in the playoffs. That's a whole nother beast, unfortunately. So that's just the way the draw goes sometimes, Jake.
And look, it's best of 3 again. You know, we've got the similar format we've been running with for the past couple of days. Last time, or at least the first time we met us in Na'Vi, was in that best-of-1 format against Order, and that was surprising itself. But we're still relying on our same players. It's still Simple who's leading the charge and still one of the most competitive players at the moment on this roster, but let alone in the league.
Yeah, definitely. And it feels like Electronics hugely stepping up in Na'Vi a lot of the time. He's even on top of the scoreboard, out-fragging Simple and out-impacting him as well. He's the one who really dragged them through the game against Order in the group stage. And I mean, you said they ran into a couple of difficulties there. That's the Na'Vi meme. They're always slow starters. They're always running into some roadblocks in the group stage. In fact, sometimes it seems like they struggle much harder in the group stage than they do when they make it to the grand final. Like, there's been grand finals where they walk over their opponent 2-0, like 16-6, 16-8. And then when they play the group stage game against Order, a team that's not even, an international prospect, they're just a team that slugs it away in the domestic scene of Australia. That is really hard for them to close.
They just want to give us that extra bit of content. They just want to keep us on the edge of our seats. And hopefully this game is no different. Expecting maybe the 3-mapper to come through again, potentially the way that Ghosts have been playing. We're about to look at those videos that are about to appear on the bottom of your screen, actually going this way for you. Ooh. So I'm curious if we do have that 3-mapper, how it plays out. Of course, in Vetoes, we change our mind quite a lot, and we'll see how this goes, Billy.
Yeah, definitely. So Ghost's going to take out Overpass, Na'Vi onto Cash. That's probably what you'd expect from these two teams. It's going to be interesting to see if Inferno pops up in the first two or whether it's going to be a third map. It's a map that Na'Vi likes to play a lot, but they don't necessarily have the highest success rate. It's a map that Ghost are somewhat comfortable on as well. So it's going to be interesting whether they're going to see them go to some different kind of picks. Ghosts are actually going to pick Inferno, a map that Na'Vi were up until recently picking themselves, and Na'Vi going to pick up Train, a map that Ghosts have been playing in a lot of these series in the EPL thus far, and it's a map that really lends well to them because they've got a lot of experience playing it, and they've got two very, very strong AWPers. So, third map on Mirage, yeah.
Okay, so I think starting with Inferno will give us a good idea where this sits. Ghost may be helping out Na'Vi. Na'Vi may be helping out Ghost. It might go both ways. Train was a very interesting one for them and has been so far. But if we finish on Mirage and if we do get there, then is it looking like Na'Vi's just time to shine? Or is it still too early to tell because of the way Ghosts have been playing?
It's pretty early to tell. The problem really lies here in the fact that Na'Vi, it's a map, Inferno's a map that they're comfortable on, so maybe they'll have a decent chance at winning that one, and they might be able to get the 2-0 over Ghost, which is what some people would think they should do in this series.
Well, that is only a maybe there for Na'Vi. They need to get this match out of the way. If group stage hinders them any further, if it continues to be a bit of meme in the back of everyone's mind, then Na'Vi will be going home. There's no chance of them joining the rest of the teams in the EPL. Now, over on the H stream right now, I believe people are looking at Astralis and MIBR, if I'm not mistaken there. But this match is just as important. The waiting is still there to find our top teams. This is where we get started. And of course, starting on Inferno, it's not something we'd normally say, Billy. It's usually left for that third map.
Yeah, definitely. Ghost Inferno is very good though, so I would not be too surprised if they took this map away. And then heading on to Train, you know, Na'Vi should have a great chance of taking that one out, but Ghost can definitely play it. They're definitely capable of playing it, so it's going to be scary for either team. I would say that these are going to be a competitive first two maps, and there's potential for a 2-0 either way, I would say, but you'd definitely be expecting Na'Vi to come away with this one.
Well, Pilly, it's our native team, or at least it's my native team from the Ukraine. Na'Vi taking on Ghost Gaming, beginning with Inferno here in this best of 3. And the winner of this series gets placement into the top teams here for the ESL Pro League. Hard push coming through immediately. Ghost Gaming have just sailed on by. Simple gets the information. A lot of noise made there from Na'Vi. Quick pick off by Electronic. He'll break open the floodgates here. But bomb's going down.
Yeah, Ghost got themselves site control, but they, you know, Na'Vi kind of just led them onto the bomb site and put themselves in some very annoying positions, and that's worked out beautifully for them. Electronic and Simple both securing themselves a frag, and now Ghost are completely surrounded.
Neptune's sitting on site, but you can see how far back Steel actually is. That's the decoy out. Push in now. Zeus drops a double. And Neptune still holding on site. The third doesn't come too easily. Simple there with a double trade. And everyone drops down. Na'Vi with the first round.
Yeah, pretty straightforward one there. Ghost getting it very quickly up dig. They get the bomb down on the A bomb site, but what they don't expect is that Electronic and Simple are both still lurking around those halls area. Both of them are able to be a thorn in the side of Ghost Gaming, even after they get the bomb down. So now Ghost, plenty of money in the bank after that bomb plant. Definitely going to be buying up into the next. At this point, a lot of utility bought up by them, so pretty interested to see if they're going to let Na'Vi take this banana control, and whether they're going to flash there. They're actually running straight up, and not much utility's been thrown by Na'Vi.
Oh, Simple just has another field day. Says, how do you do? Simple with his fourth, but unfortunately no ace. Look forward to better things now, as Ghost Gaming will be in the perfect positioning for a buy round.
They will indeed. They're going to buy up. Waddell's actually gone straight onto the AWP, so that's an interesting thing to see. On the side of Na'Vi, you know, bit of a bonus round, lots of SMGs, but SMGs can be very effective on Inferno, especially if you're using the utility very proactively and in the right spots, because you can really force your terrorist side into a awkward situation where you can make the best of the SMG in a close angle, try to lock down those Ts in a choke point. It's going to be a bit slower of one from Ghost. They're just taking their time, trying to get a read on how Na'Vi wants to be playing this CT side. Ghost going to go for this apps control and give up banana control to Na'Vi. Sub Rosa, he's lost a lot of HP trying to spam through that Nana smoke there. He's been spammed back. Not sure if that was by Zeus or by Edward there.
Well, Zeus is pushing up, and as you said, a lot of damage that just comes across. Kusta takes a quick tag as well. Wardell sitting close towards mid.
So I like this setup from Na'Vi. Edward's just jump spotting, trying to bait out the tees to push into Zeus, who's hiding in the corner.
Talking about the use of those SMGs. There's the first one. And Sub Rose up. Oh, another peek out here from Zeus. And the molly does do its work to push him as a trade response kill, but Edward's still sitting strong on B side.
Yeah, Kusa's lurking through bracket though, and that could be the real difference maker for Ghost in this round. He can really try to find an opening, whether he wants to work through the CT spawn, whether he wants to try to control the rotations and pick these A players, or he wants to try to come in for a backstab on the A players and set up his team to come back towards A. See what the decision's going to be from Ghost. Looks like he's trying to make his way into CT spawn there. Wall of smoke across the front of the site. They're trying to isolate Edward here.
Edward finds a frag instead. Neptune, as he gets wide peeked out. Simple still here. Push through. Great flash there. Simple gets caught unawares. And Ghost Gaming get onto the B bomb site. Now the rotation from Na'Vi. 10 seconds left. And time's had a factor. Electronic got to see Neptune first. Kusa gets the frag there. Electronic can't even get the trade-off. And a good round there from Ghost. A 4K from Neptune, in fact. What
a fantastic 2v3 conversion there from Ghost. I mean, Simple's tucked into the back of the site with an M4. You thought that was all going to be over for Ghost at that point in the round. But what a flash. Just what a way to neutralize such a dangerous player in a great position to be able to shut down your hopes and dreams in that round. Now, Na'Vi don't have the best supplies. Definitely not a whole lot of utility left after losing that round. And Ghost putting themselves in a decent position, but with only 2 alive, their money's not going to be too fantastic either. Neither AWP feeling in this sort of scenario. No one's going to be picking all the way down to the T spawn. Steel's looking pretty happy in this picture, and you probably would be because you're 1 game away from qualifying for the playoffs.
I think for Ghost, a lot of teams saying maybe they could make it this far. Expectations have they been met? Well, over and over again for Ghost. And into this matchup. Gotta get off to a cracking start here on Inferno. Now, pulling back from the B bomb site. It's Simple. He's got the angle. See what happens. Good flash out.
So they put Wardell up on the angle, just secure the fact that no one could poke and pick that CT spawn, but Wardell's actually going to look for some more towards Coffin. Na'Vi's playing passive towards this bracket area, so they don't have a whole lot of information on A, and Ghost have been given banana control very early on. No utility left for Na'Vi, so they better be winning some of these aim duels very quickly here, or things are going to go very badly for them.
Simple sees Wardell, but the flash out once again catches Zeus. The push through, and Na'Vi have to pull back once more. It's Neptune who, over the top of the smoke, will be able to apply this pressure with Kusta on the other side. Simple now sitting AWP from CT side, but still drops to Edward. Opportunity for Na'Vi on the retake. Do they say no? It looks like this time they're not going to play for the B.
You see this not very often at all at this level of CS even. See a lot of teams will go for this 4v4, but Na'Vi, they're just going to save. They're going to hold on to their weapons. They know how low their percentage is of getting back into that B bomb site and closing out the round from that scenario. So it's good to see them save onto this much weaponry, especially when you got Simple on the AWP. Last round, they just really didn't have the utility to be able to play into the late round like that, and Ghost did. They used their utility beautifully. There's 2 smokes on the bomb site. Great flashbangs and timing to come into B. They put Wardell up on the angle with one of those great flashes and sent Sub Rosa in on the Mach 10 to get that pick on Edward. And after that, the smoke's already down and there's nothing Simple can do. He's forced to play retake. So maybe there'll even be a better buy for Na'Vi into this round. I'm actually surprised they didn't more aggressively go for some fights due to the fact that they just didn't have as much utility as you might have wanted. And utility is just so important on the CT side of Inferno.
Well, we'll have a pause to decide what the next move is for Na'Vi at the very least. Simple has no money in his back pocket, so 4 guns out, one of them being a UMP. Nothing to speak of. Simple at the moment, 7-1. Keep that in the back of your mind when you consider Neptune who's 6-2. They are just numbers. And in the early part of this game on Inferno, it's not going to matter too much yet again. But Pilly, I think we're in for a bit of a wild ride. I feel like Banana seems to be the point of contention right now between these two teams.
Yeah, thus far, but I do know that Ghosts are very good at changing up the pacing and changing up what kind of areas of the map they want to be hitting. Navi's giving them a lot of respect at the moment, which is surprising to see for a team like Navi. They're really giving them a lot of map control. They're allowing Ghosts to run their protocols, and they're not trying to be too disruptive. Which, especially for someone like Simple, is not something that I'd be expecting to see.
Well, speak of the devil, he doesn't find the opener. On the other side of the map, though, it's Wardell once again onto Electronic. The star player, it seems to be, on this tournament for Na'Vi, as he drops Soda's Neptune. And a couple of quick picks here from Na'Vi again. Flamey holding the angle. He can't get the trade-off, and Na'Vi need this shot. Simple. He tags it up, but a tag it is not. Peek out once again. Simple drops. Left with a 2v3. Look at the bomb site. Zeus is coming up from behind the flank. Acoustic gets Edward. 1 versus 2. The flash is out again. Seem to be in peak performance. Zeus here. The trade. Never mind. The shot doesn't come through. And Ghost Gaming hold on.
That's a reset on Na'Vi. Only a singular reset, but a reset nonetheless. So that's fantastic to see for Ghost. Simple being disruptive with the AWP, but like you said, missed an opportunity or two to be able to completely lock Ghost out of that round. And even with, you know, some small opportunity, some small window for them to be able to take advantage of, they're able to do it beautifully. They get up onto that A bomb site, and we were talking about how much contention there was at Banana. We were talking about how much contention there was towards that B bomb site. There's a nice little round through bracket and up A after resolving that.
Now stuck on a bit of an eco as well. And Zeus can't find anything more than what's been done by Steel. They'll just work back onto the B bomb site. And Na'Vi, with a bit of utility, might just look to save once again and transition into this next round. Early start from Ghost has transitioned nicely off the back of that utility. That's the only difference I see here, Pilly.
That's fantastic work from Steel to just get things done with the Mac 10. He gets 2 kills so early on, and up against Na'Vi, who invested a lot in this round. Look at their money.
Yeah.
Like, they have a huge loss bonus built up, don't get me wrong, but, you know, it's dangerous stuff on CT side of Inferno nowadays when you get a bunch of pistols, you know, some light armor, some smokes. There's a recipe for success there that you see time and time again. The CT side pistols make these rounds work, so for Steel to just assertively get up there and take away any chance of Na'Vi with their, you know, 1 to 1.5k invested in this round on each of their players, he just secures the fact that there's not going to be an opportunity for them to get that done. And with that investment, their purchase is going to be so much more lackluster than it would have been, especially on Zeus and Edward. They're not really going to have the utility that they might desire, or they might have to take worse weaponry. And we saw how that went for them last time, that they didn't have the utility to be able to play into the late round. It didn't go well for them, Jake.
Well, not
How
much
was that
there.
round on B?
Definitely not as much as they would like. And with Wardell on the AWP, things become a little bit more difficult. Settling is Simple, and Zeus for the AUG. Pick first off. It's Sub Rosa and Banana again. Is that point of contention. With Edward down as well. That early gun out of the game. Utility coming back out. And look how much Ghost have to play with here, Pilly. Good flash there onto Neptune. What does it mean? Simple again, blinded with the AUG here. Finds Sub Rosa. This is good for Na'Vi. Allowing him to enter the bomb site. Simple still in a good position, but it will be smoked off. The change around is still good, though. Still get Simple eventually, but left with a 2v2. Salvageable here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, potentially so, but Ghosts have some great positions, back left and back right, as well as a little bit of utility to be able to hold on to into the later parts of this round.
Smoke will cover the bomb for now. The Molly ends up reaching over, but still gets Electronic before he can get him. Flamey in the same position, but Kusta sees him through the fire, through the flames. Ghost again, this B bomb site. It's their oyster.
It's It's just strange to see from Na'Vi. You know, they don't have the most fantastic utility into that last round, especially on Zeus and Edward, who are actually the two people that decide to go so aggressively down Nana. And what did they really throw towards that position? They threw a molly towards Zoloff, maybe a flash over the top, but no smoke deep, and Edward gets punished for that. Sub Rosa with probably the easiest pick of his life from T-Stairs there, and that gives Ghost such a massive advantage. They haven't even needed the man advantage thus far. They've been able to make the map control turn into rounds so quickly for them. Again, the pacing is so quick from Ghost. Straight up this bracket, no respect to Na'Vi given whatsoever, and you can see how much of a ripple that's causing in the rotations right now. A lot of these CTs starting to move and adjust, getting a little bit antsy.
Don't care right now. Flaming. He'll get the information with his death, but on this round, still a tiny bit invested. There's a bit of utility there as well, but no head armor. Na'Vi want to make something happen. They want to stop Ghost. This is not the round to do it at this point. Already dropping. Na'Vi know the push is coming up here, but burning alive. Edward has to be careful. Neptune, though, facing the wrong way. The trade-offs here actually okay for Na'Vi. In a good position, Edward will pick up the AK. Holding site strong. Sub Rosa needs this kill. Edward peeking around the smoke. He drops now. Remember, armor situation so much better for Ghost Gaming. Left in a 2v2. But the bomb in the middle of a site.
Some great positions from the CTs here. Zeus has got himself an AK and Simple. Let's be real, all he does need is a deagle to just end any chance that Ghost might have in this round. Sub Rosa is trying to sneak through the apartments. That's going to be a fantastic molly from Wardell, I would say. It's going to cut the CTs in half.
See Simple. Takes the shot. Deagle doesn't land. This could be good for Na'Vi. The peek around to Zeus. He doesn't find that either. Sub Rosa now pushed for time. 10 seconds.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Na'Vi think they can take the 2v1, but boy, oh boy, are they wrong.
Sub Rosa just absolutely bails them out of that one. You see how dangerous those pistols can be at times when you're running into crossfires of CZ armored CTs.
Yeah.
You know, not only the choke points on B, but even that balcony site crossfire between Edward and Electronic there is very difficult for Ghost to be able to deal with. The round gets down so close. There's no way Sub Rosa should be able to come away with that one, and that's a big bailout for Ghost. But now Na'Vi with their probably the best looking buy round I've seen out of them. They're going to go for the double AWP. Flame is AWPing over towards that Diggity side. But he gets white. Sub Rosa just straight up bracket into jungle. No respect given at all.
So aggressive, and these flashes are just helping the argument further. Now Zeus will come through archers, but Sub Rosa pushing up yet again. That aggression pays off. They don't expect him to be there. Edward, even though he gets the frag at the end of the day, the damage has been done. The A bomb side is going to be hard for Electronic to hold. He does get a bit of damage off onto Wardell, but that's the AWPer. He smokes it down, looks for the peak, flashes out, utility running out. Electronic here on site. The bomb drops onto Steel, and Edward comes back in for Na'Vi. They're collapsing well here, Pilly. The smoke's down. Neptune looking the wrong way, and Na'Vi, this could be their round. It's Wardell that drops as well. They finally get one back on the board.
You just can't count out Electronic in the pit. That's what I'll tell you, Jake. Probably one of the best, if not the best, in that position in the entire world. Just plays that so beautifully. Drops a smoke to be able to maneuver around. Great counter flash towards Graveyard to enable him to get a pick onto the site there. And he buys so much time for Edward to be able to rotate in through that CT spawn. But you have to say, Ghost there, just a little bit staggered, looking a little bit out of focus after Sub Rosa creates such a large opening in that round. They're really looking for those CTs. They're very much aware that Electronic's in pit there, but they're checking all the wrong angles. Unfortunately, that is going to be their chances in that round gone.
Sounds very cut and dry of me to say, but the A-bomb site doesn't have the same feeling. You know, getting banana control, Ghost Gaming, use that aggression well, and Na'Vi have been struggling over on that B side. But I guess, you know, that's apples and oranges at this point. It's not going to matter. What matters is that Na'Vi got back on the board. Their economy stabilizes a tiny bit. But this round's still going to be an important one.
Banana might be a little bit different of a story going forward, because you saw in that last round that Na'Vi was very clearly trying to set up Simple towards Banana and just let him thrive in that area. They've got 4 players towards Banana very early here, and they're trying to set Simple up. Now you're seeing the rotation start to come out from some of these CTs. And once they're comfortable setting Simple up towards this banana area, they're just going to let him thrive, and they're going to play very heavily over towards this A-bomb site. So much faith in Electronic just not to falter in such a high-pressure position, being solo on that A-bomb site. That's a lot of damage onto Sub Rosa as well from Simple. And seeing that AWP over there, this is actually going to change things up. They're going to go back towards A. You know, you said it wasn't working for them. It hasn't thus far, and they're still going to have to contest with Electronic in a very dangerous position, sitting on the cold Zera box.
Well read.
What are they going to go for here? There's the smoke towards Moto. Looks like a lot of other players towards mid and second. Shot to dig. The progression smoke in jungle as well. Looks like they're going to try and wrap together. Edward in front of the smoke. Does he get traded out? He doesn't.
Oh, he's so close. Wardell comes in with the orb, but Zeus is here in Archers. A good turnaround from Neptune. Simple still sitting back on that B bomb site, and of course at this point, Ghost Gaming look like they might commit. But Control still here, and Electronic holding the bottom of apps.
It's going to be very difficult to flush him out. As I say that, though, Kusta's very well aware.
Flaming through the smoke. Kusta peeking out on balcony. This is a two-pronged attack coming through. Flamey sitting in back aside. He has nowhere else to go. Gets a bit of damage onto Kusta, but Simple now with the AWP has to make this work. 10 seconds remaining. Time takes off the board.
Ghost can't even give him an opportunity to be able to pick one of them. Don't even give him that one-on-one angle. Don't even give him a hair, because he will see it. He will probably wallbang Kusta through the wall and then be able to pick Wardell somehow.
He's almost winking at us, Billy.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, Simple, if anyone can do it, it could be him, but decides against it maybe.
He's going to give him mercy.
He's going to give them mercy. Well said. Very well said. Na'Vi going to give them mercy for this round.
Just let him have it. It's fine.
Yeah, there's just too much on offer right now. Now Wardell won't go towards him. Kusta does die to the bomb, so happy days if you're, into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose so. Explosions, popular with some sorts of people. Regardless, though.
I'm sorry, I led you into that.
Anyway, regardless, it's difficult for Na'Vi to be able to buy into this one. They're going to go for it anyway. And any round where Electronic's got a rifle and Simple's got an AWP is a round that Na'Vi can most definitely win.
Oh, yeah. Edward with the MP9 as well.
And we were just talking about, as well, how effective the SMGs and pistols can be on Inferno. Smoke was actually thrown quickly into CT there, as well as some utility and pressure being put on B. Ghosts are trying to cause Na'Vi to overreact and over-rotate to this B bomb site. Molling into dig and the flashes on Arch, and they go straight up jungle. They tried to pull that jungle rotate, and they've done it beautifully.
Yeah, they might have heard a bit of the damage information across. Zeus from the side. Neptune comes in hot. CT's now under pressure, and Ghost are running in red hot. Simple around the side with the AWP. He finds Sub Rosa. It looks like Ghost are just lining up for Simple. Still gets the headshot, but now has to react to Flamey, who hasn't been able to seal the deal from the side. How did Still get away with that? Kusta comes back in, and Ghost Gaming go hard, they go fast, and boy, oh boy, does that sound sexy.
What a beautiful round. What a beautiful set round from Ghost there. You saw the jump throw smoke from T-stairs towards Banana. They throw a bunch of flashes over into Banana to push these Na'Vi players back, as well as a molly over the top. And you see Na'Vi, they're so convinced that there's potential there for Ghost to come quick up Banana and hit that B bomb site. That's why no one's defending towards jungle for Na'Vi. There's no third person on that A bomb site. The two players on A are tucked very much towards dig and jungle. And that allows Ghost to come through that bracket very quickly with a couple of flashes that are going to catch anybody playing close-up dig, and they go through rap side because there's nobody there. They've thrown the utility towards B. They've caused the rotation, or they've ensured that third person on the B bomb site, rather, I should say, because I don't think he was ever in jungle in the first place. They were playing heavily towards B, but the theory crafting of that strat in particular, the use of utility just to be able to take a different part of the map, it's good to see from Ghost. It's something you don't see from many teams, and it's something that's always very entertaining to see from, any of Steel's in-game leading antics.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a very different approach.
Ghost Gaming at this point running a little bit away in Inferno. Of course, when things change over, you'll get the full understanding of Ghost Gaming's CT side. But even then, who knows? Simple. There's a frag with the Deagle. Let's see what else he can get. the back of pit. Sub-Rosa taking a little bit of damage there from the molly too. Getting collapsed on, but Zeus is taken care of. Electronic can't get anything with the USP. So this round is done and dusted as it should be. Ghost Gaming will sit on 9. And Na'Vi now have to look for a way to get a couple more rounds on their CT side of Inferno.
Yeah, definitely. This T side has been monstrous from Ghost, but you have to really point out the fact that Na'Vi, they've been reset time and time again. They've been investing in a lot in these CZs and armor, these smokes in the rounds where they should be saving. They've been purchasing time and time again, and there's only 1 or 2 rounds where it's looked really dangerous from Na'Vi, this investment of pistols. The rest of the time, it's looked like a complete waste of money, and that really is pointed, strongly towards that when you look at their buy rounds where they just don't have all the smokes and mollies that they might have needed, all the flashbangs that they might have needed to be able to take some of this map control. And you're seeing it again. Players with CZs and Deagles, and I mean, it was a recent time where they were reset, but there's definitely people investing a lot in some of those pistols in that last round. And again, they just have a lack of utility. And on CT side Inferno, you can't afford that, Jake.
They want to take a risk. They want to make sure they're matching a team as risky as Ghost Gaming, but I guess that is just the simple side of it anyway. This time Na'Vi, however, lack of utility still there, Pilly. And that money is costing them quite literally here. 4 M4s and the UMP once again from Zeus. You can see pressure coming up from B. Edward happy to sit back on this B bomb site, but 3 members from Na'Vi sitting close towards A. And I'm not too sure what it's doing right now from Ghost Gaming, but never mind that. They've made some pretty good decisions so far, so you can trust that this round will be the same.
I mean, it's Nana control again from Ghost. The difference being this time Na'Vi, they're playing aggressively towards the dig side of the map. She's going to get them a lot of information towards bracket. Might help them with the rotations later on, but now Kustar's just throwing a little bit of utility over towards the bracket side here. Trying to keep Na'Vi nice and honest. What a fantastic molly to be able to flush Flamey out, but Simple and him both combine for a quick frag there. Well-timed smoke there from the Na'Vi side. To be able to hold Ghost off, and they're going to go through it.
With that, Edward looking away in flower pots. He's spotted out in the end. Sub-Rosa pushes through. Wardell trying to hold this cross angle. Gets Zeus with just a little bit of a tip. Edward's still around their side, but Wardell needs to find this frag. He's last left alive. Na'Vi rotate back in, and Ghost Gaming can't get on side.
They really tried to force the issue there after they lost Kusta towards bracket and middle. Really felt like they were losing a lot of... They were really pressured. They lost a lot of map control on towards bracket side, and all they really had was Banana, so they tried to force the issue onto that B-bomb site. Did not work out too well for them at all, especially with that well-timed smoke from Zeus or Edward there from main. And Na'Vi just completely wrecks them. Despite a lack of utility, this time they're actually going to have that util. Simple's going to have the AWP as well, which he didn't have in the last round, although he made great work of that rifle towards middle. Now 3 players towards B, and they're going to set Simple up for success in Banana. Something that Ghost haven't had to deal with too much.
Yeah, Simple's in the perfect position, perfect timing as well. As Ghost still lingering around, wondering what to do. Wardell pushing up aggressively through mid with help of Steel, but Simple does find Sub-Rosa as the peek through Banana eventually comes back in. At this point, could be a good couple of rounds here for Na'Vi, if all things go well.
It should be, because look at Ghost's money. They need to consolidate this 4-on-5. They need to win this one, because otherwise they're going to be pretty broke heading into this next one. Progression, smoke, up diggity, and they're going to go through it onto site. Electronics in graveyard, though.
And so fast. Electronic hasn't been spotted out until he has now. Bomb down. Neptune the last one. At least pushing back on site. Wardell and Kusta aren't here just yet. The AWP in hand of Wardell, but he's pushed back beyond the smoke. Edward going to peek back out. Wardell on the run. Play the damn yakety sax, he says. Upstairs he goes. But through apps now, has to play it quick. Electronic sees him around the side. Not even worried at this point. Does find Edward on the retreat. Electronic. Doesn't get that one. 3 left to go. Zeus to peek around the side. Wardell. That could have been the start of something great, but it's not. So, no. Okay. Well, it was the start of something great, Pilly. Whatever.
Unfortunate. It doesn't really matter though, because it's the last round and they've got well and truly enough money to be able to buy it.
Yeah.
If anything, they'll probably just miss a nade or two, or maybe an upgraded pistol, if that even. As for Ghost though, completely opposite story for them. They're pretty broke. They've got terrible money. They're going to have to go for some pistol buy into this round and try to make some kind of a fast strat work. But a team that is definitely very capable of it. Some of these fast strats from Ghost can be pretty successful. Quick one up Banana.
Once again, Edward, another good flash here from Ghost, blinds him out. Edward almost lands on the double, but Flamey coming in for the flank, and with that smoke, it might slow things down. Zeus sitting on the back of this B bomb site. No move just yet. Ghost kind of stuck in the middle. Bit of limbo happening here.
Yeah, they're surrounded. They've lost a lot of map control. All they've got left is Banana. So picking Flamey would be pretty huge here, but they're not going to be able to make it work.
Sandwich continues, building up on its layers. They do eventually get Flamey, but at this point, to get bomb is so dangerous. Subrosa picks it up and the run away, but they just don't know where everyone is. So this round for Na'Vi could look so good going into that T side. Spot out from Simple here, going to come shortly as a bit of movement will eventually follow. Get a flash over. Can't get the flick to Kusta. Salvageable now for Ghost. Smoke's down, but they're not moving towards B. 30 seconds remaining. Or are they? Doing the old do-si-do. Zeus is going to pop out near Coffin. See Sub-Rosa, but these shots are on point, even with the Galil. No worries. Left in a 2v1. I said it could be good for Na'Vi. Starting to regret saying that. Electronic 1v2.
Difficult for him to win this one with the T's doubling up in con.
Kusta, the peaks there. Never mind, Pilly. Never mind. Doubling up worked nicely. It just gave Electronic the avenue that he was waiting for. So Na'Vi, the word is salvage that round.
Salvaged a half, really. They were down pretty heavily at 1 point, 7-1 or 7-2 or something like that. Bring it to 9-6. And Na'Vi have a pretty decent T side on this map, if I remember correctly. So game is definitely not done and dusted whatsoever. Ghosts need this map win, I would say. Get things off on the right foot to be able to continue forward in the series.
At this point, Ghost are still looking like the better team, but a couple of rounds. And Na'Vi just showing why they are one of the top dogs. So, in a way, my statement is both right and wrong at this point. Ghost such an aggressive team. We're seeing it here in our first map. We're seeing why they've made this upset against NRG, why they've pushed it to the limit. From the first round to, you know, even maybe the last. They make a play, they stick with it. It's quite rare that we don't see them going full throttle into that B bomb site. That was one of the times where they did get caught out, where they got stuck and they got sandwiched in, but a couple of the frags looking for a potential exit.
Yeah, well, it was a real difference once Na'Vi got their hands on some grenades and stuff on that CT side. Ghost had a lot more trouble taking control of the map and taking control of Banana in particular. So I feel like that was a pretty big difference maker, as well as setting Simple up on some different angles for success, and Electronic being relied so heavily upon on that A bomb site to deliver time and time again, and he does it. Regardless, onto the second half now. So he's just spotting for info across middle and jumping across second mid. He didn't get too much, I don't think. He spotted maybe 1 or 2 Ts, but not hugely telling of what Na'Vi intend to do, and Na'Vi don't intend to give any tells. Spreading out pretty heavily for map control. They're trying to take Banana, they're trying to take Apps. Kusta needs to be very careful here. He could get his head ripped off pretty quickly.
Simple's not alone though. Electronic coming up too. Wardell is going to hide. Lack of information might work out well. Great shot there by Kusta. That opens it up once again, and Na'Vi just have to push through. Electronic and Zeus there, but Wardell pops out. One tap's coming out of the city right here. Zeus will eventually push in, and Kusta doesn't find the same successful shot. The P250. They continue forward. Left in a 3v3. Flamey now has to deal with the 1v1 and still gets a great shot onto the head. Still left wanting more. Retreats into the back of the A bomb site. Sub Rosa will spot out Zeus, who has the bomb. But look at the fan that's just come across here. The rotation into this B bomb site. Neptune waiting in on the side. Will find Edward with a tap. Flamey now has to redirect his shots. Neptune, a bit of a pinch in the angle, but Flamey eventually gets him. And we begin 2v2.
Both of these CTs coming from Nana. Steel's got some decent utility, but no kit. Flash over the top. Sets Sub Rosa up to get that kill.
Oh, shot by Flamey. Might be able to play a little bit with time here, deceiving Sub Rosa. He'll nade into the side, hits Flamey for half his health. Could be the round. Sub Rosa pops back in, and it is 2 kills for the only one left alive of Ghost Gaming. They'll take the CT pistol round.
So fantastic to see from them as well, because being able to win this pistol round gets them closer and closer to Wardell being able to put the big green in his hands. That's a scary prospect indeed. It's probably one of the bigger win conditions for a team like Ghost to win a map against Na'Vi. Wardell needs to be performing with that AWP.
Potential of 3 maps here in this series. Getting ahead of myself, but if Ghost could take out Inferno, who even knows at this point?
Here's the force from Na'Vi, and a pretty decent one at that. Simple's on a Nova, which is, you know, that's something. Lots of AKs for Flamey and Electronic to be able to do some damage.
Steel on the mag. I want to see the battle of Simple and Steel right now.
Might be getting
Actually,
it.
might see it.
Oh
my
my
gonna
God.
boost up. Oh, it's shotgun on shotgun. Steel wins. He pops forward. He's actually seen the bottom as well. Unfortunately, the Flamey headshot is just not as successful. But damage has been done here by Ghost Gaming, also by Na'Vi.
Flamey hands the AK off to Edward, who's got the HP there, and he's just going to pick up the Nova. 2-man setup between Neptune and Sub Rosa. The flashbang could be phenomenal here.
Well, Sub Rosa not getting what he wants, though. Utility left to the last moment. Neptune just going to walk back over to Con. And Wardell still sitting on the A bomb site. That's where Na'Vi are coming, and they're coming in force. 4 versus 2. And there's not too much hope for Wardell here. At the last moment, looks away. They're going to enter into the site. He's just hiding, biding his time, seeing what he can do. Flamey will pop on under. Even with the Nova, he's not going to get the range, but Wardell knows there's not too much he can do. Zeus comes back up. And at least they're left in a 3v2 before the bomb plant goes down, so with lack of guns, they might take this.
They've got no kit though. With Na'Vi pretty heavily tucked into the back of this bomb site, it's going to be difficult to dig them out. So, pretty decent decision here from Ghost to be able to save onto the umps. The utility in particular, Wardell's got the mag. But losing that round is going to put Wardell infinitely further away from the big green. So, the opposite of what I said. Winning pistol and then losing the following round to a force is terrible on the economy, but he might be able to right the wrongs that have happened by racking up some kills with the mag. Interested to see whether Ghost force into this next one or take it conservatively. They do have the round advantage.
Oh, the Nova's still there. That's what matters. At least in the 1v1, we know who's better with a shotgun. Wardell carries it on through, and this round will be pushed by the wayside, it feels. And Na'Vi, after this tactical timeout by Ghost, should be getting closer to equalising. Inferno's not over. And a very crucial round for Na'Vi to get back into the swing of things.
Should be. Ghost just having a little chat here. They're going to take the conservative approach and double save, it's looking like. I'd say that's just due to the fact that they're up 10-7. Don't need to take any huge amount of risk because there's plenty of rounds to play with in their half. Just save the money. They want the AWP on Wardell, most likely. Flamey, though, you were talking about the Nova. You're getting excited about it.
Yeah,
if there's ever a round for you to actually be able to get kills with this abomination of a weapon.
It's probably this.
Yeah, maybe. Who's he going to have to contest with over towards A here? I mean, no one towards Apps. But the Nova's got some range on it, Jake. I don't know if you're aware.
It's like the same as an AWP.
Not really. I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, we're about to test that theory out anyway.
He's very confident.
Mate.
Love yourself.
You go down to silver, people think it's got the same range as an AWP.
Oh, man.
I think it's the same gun. Can you imagine with someone smile like Wardell sitting around the corner with the mag 7. Good shot there. Actually pops back around. Unfortunately, there's more. Neptune gets just ahead. We're actually left in a 3v3 now. Remember, Flamey has the Nova, so this round might spice up a little bit. They'll push to the other side through Diggity onto 8. And they've set up positioning here. Ready for the post plant, but got to get the plant down first. Rest of Ghost Gaming, they're not moving around. They're going to push this round to the side as well.
Neptune's grabbed himself an AK, so that's worth holding on to. Sabrosa and Kusta can try to go for a pick or two on these Na'Vi players, and if they get them, I mean, it's a big boost to the bank account, but to be able to get a rifle into Kusta's hands moving into the next round, that is huge. That is absolutely massive. This is potential for Ghost to be able to actually buy into this next one. Whereas previously, there was no hope in hell.
And that's 2 AKs walking through.
He's throwing the Nova away, Jake. How do you feel about that?
I'm not sure. Flamey just ahead of Subrosa. That's only the pistol, though. Kusta pops up. Unfortunately, they won't take 2 AKs through, and at this point, money's fine for Na'Vi, so that's not going to hurt them too much.
I'm very surprised Kusta went for a fight in that scenario, because if you look at their money, I mean, Neptune can drop him an AK still.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a difference of utility for sure at this point. Regardless, though, they put a lot of economic pressure on Na'Vi, which is going to give them an opportunity to be able to push Na'Vi down before they can really get on a roll, before they can really get their money together and start the momentum that they need to be able to close this game out. Wardell's got himself the AWP. Decent utility across the board, but Subros are definitely lacking. Steel's not got a Molotov. Kusta's used a lot of it very early on. He's got almost none left at this point in the round. And Na'Vi, how will their map control resolve here? There's going to be a pretty heavy setup towards Diggity here for Ghost Gaming. Edward moving up Apps very quickly with Flamey. Na'Vi not contesting Nana too much just yet.
But Wardell is ready when they do. Electronic drops down. Neptune reads that. Edward peeks his head out the door. 2 quick kills here from Ghost, and as Edward's dropped down with the utility, just the head, just the tip. That's all you need. Still drops himself in mid, or at least Zeus helps him do the job. FAMAS down, but who gives a crap at this point? Simple jumps back in, but caught out with a grenade. This could be a moment. Was expecting him to make the hard push, but they slow things down. Simple jumps back up onto balcony. This might catch Neptune by surprise.
He's really not overextending here, though. Very sensible angles that he's playing here in the pit. He's going to be Molotov'd out, but drops the smoke immediately to buy time, and that's going to be a big tell for the rotations to come out sooner. Kusta's still very worried, but spotting both. Neptune, what a huge round from him. He doubled up earlier on, and then against the buy round of Na'Vi, look at their money. Talk about impact. 3 of them are broke, Jake.
Mate, that was insane. Neptune, remember, this guy's 17 years old.
He's a young man.
For Ghost Gaming, we were talking about him in the edition, and when Steele said, you know, he's got a great mentality, you say, yes, okay, you know, I'll work on it. And already we've seen the adaptation where this guy's just been getting better and better throughout the tournament. And Neptune, you're right, he doubled down again. A 4K for him in that round.
All the Ghost guys just have the seediest little smiles.
Yeah.
I love it.
I told you that you look at Wardell, and that's what he looks like holding the mag 7 around the corner.
He's a cheeky boy.
He is a cheeky boy. He's been so cheeky with that AWP as well, though, Pilly. He's been pretty on point, actually. You send him up for a trade with Simple at the moment. Well, not this round, but, you know, when he has the AWP. And at this point, I'd be pretty happy to bet on Wardell.
I don't know. Simple CZ versus any gun can still get it done. It's a force buy, though. Quick up brackets.
Electronic with the AK. Edward's still alive, but Simple hiding here in Graveyard. Edward pushes all the way up through the smoke on the back of sight. It's a double, and Neptune drops. Bombs going down. Na'Vi. This round turning very sour for Ghost Gaming. Kusta still around sight, but that molly hits no one. Wardell needs this shot with the orb. Can he find Edward? The answer is no. Playing with time here with an orb and an M4. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. Simple holds Graveyard. That's the runaway from Ghost Gaming. Na'Vi just take over the A-bomb site that round. And they'll take their 9th as well.
They waste absolutely no time. They just get in there. And Edward, what a huge amount of impact from the man. Straight up dig. He doubles up, running through that site smoke and just getting things done. That's the real difference maker. It's so difficult sometimes to dig these CTs out of these little positions like in pit and tucked into the back of the bomb site. But Edward, it's been around for a while now and, you know, definitely big enough man at this point to be able to just get in there and get it done.
He's a big boy. You know, I don't know if you met him, but, you know, you hear rumors.
He had a big beard until recently, unfortunately.
Well, Movember's over, so that's fair enough.
All great things come to an end.
In December, you can't have a beard, you know. You can't have a beard like that, Pilly. It's hot, it's
People
sweaty.
will think you're Santa Claus.
Well,
You'll be mistaken.
then they'll understand when they see a bit of, you know, a bit of Christmas pudding or a couple of noodles in the beard. They go, well, Santa's not that lazy. He's not that clumsy. So I reckon they'd figure out pretty soon. Christmas is coming, folks. But this is kind of like Christmas Eve right now. You know, the joy that's going to come. And it's kind of the best day because you're going, right, it's not Christmas yet, but you get a little bit of a bonus. And that's what Ghost and Na'Vi are providing right now. A lot of utility on the board this time, though, Pilly. But a couple of hero guns and a couple of pistols on the side of Ghost Gaming.
Yeah, they're really trying to fight for this economy control because they know that once they lose control of it, Na'Vi are going to be able to very quickly get on top of them in terms of the round count. The pressure is going to be back on them. A lot of Na'Vi players over towards T-Spawn and towards Banana here. They put a lot of emphasis on apartments thus far in this game. So a change up from them. Ghost missing a smoke. But Wardell going aggressive down that apartments is good to see. Getting Ghost the advantage that they need. A lot of these rounds, sometimes, you know, you have the CZs and Army, you have some bad weaponry, and you need to see the guy who's got the firepower on the AWP go take control and get you the advantage that you need. Electronic, he knows they're at a disadvantage. He's looking for a kill here.
Well, Kusta, his leg was just peeking out to the side. He gets punished for it. Double flash in now. Molly onto the back of sight towards Dark. Zeus ready to push in with a gap in the smoke. It's going to be fast here for Na'Vi. Kusta still in the same position now, but they know he's here at the very least. Zeus is in. Neptune there. Can't get the shots down. And Ghosts are getting overtaken on this B bomb site. Everybody drops. And in the end, it's Na'Vi who get a quick take on in. 2 guns, 2 saves. And Ghost Gaming will only have a 1-round lead after this.
Yeah, and I don't know how long that's going to last, honestly, Jake. Unless Wardell's able to do some heavy lifting with the AWP in the next round. I mean, he got them the man advantage, but that was not enough. Man. Those Ghost players were under a lot of pressure from Electronic on the rifle, just walking in there.
Yep.
Na'Vi have been so good at that with these rifles up against Ghosts on their CT side of just walking in and getting into that bomb site. Electronic's going to get smoked off and just call it quits, I would imagine.
Maybe. Utility to make sure that they just don't come into the second apps here.
Yep. So anyway, they'll be able to hold on to the guns. The only saving grace from Ghosts at this point, because they're about to lose the lead, I would imagine, at this point. Na'Vi really looking strong in this game. And it's scary because Na'Vi, they're not giving too much away in terms of how they're playing to Ghosts. It's not really like they're throwing a full execute or they're relying on any kind of overarching game plan. It's really just very stock standard stuff going together, getting some decent map control by not expending too much utility apart from the basics, but very much so individuals walking around the map and applying a lot of pressure to these Ghost players.
Well, speak of the devil, it's Edward again applying that pressure on the AK, but Sub Rosa there in mid. Zeus pushing up as well. This is good for Ghost. That's 2 quick picks. Na'Vi just walked towards them. Still in apps though, drops on stairs. And this will enable Na'Vi to just jump into the A bomb site, lightly defended by Wardell. Simple drops down below balcony, but Wardell here going to play close with the AWP. Smoke on top of balcony might keep him guessing, but he's looking Simple's way. One touch on to Neptune, leaves him stranded. And Wardell sitting on backer side. I like this though. They don't expect him to be there, but he misses the shot close. Electronic, of course, he cleans him up. He's left in a 1v2. So maybe it doesn't matter too much for Ghost, but the bomb does eventually go down for Na'Vi, excuse me. Almost swore in Chinese. Flush out again. He's got a 1v2, he can't do it. So in the end, Wardell's quick shot doesn't cost anything.
Unbelievable. Ghost get away with that one. Wardell and especially Sub-Rosa just running down middle there.
Yeah.
And the silenced Colt has never looked scarier. Na'Vi had no idea where he was. They were so confused. He's just, you know, pew-pewing away. And Zeus, just the way that he ran down Banana there, it's almost like they thought that he peeked mid or like balcony or something and killed someone. Like Edward clearly, the communication between Edward and Zeus there, it's like clearly they had no idea that he was down mid there. And that's the kind of mistake that's going to put Na'Vi pretty firmly in the bin if they lose this round off the back of that. Because, I mean, that was a save from Ghost. Only those 2 rifles were the only thing they bought into that last one, and you can see the effect of their economy now. Wardell's got a lot of cash. Teal, Sub-Rosa, fair bit of cash in the bank, and Na'Vi, where previously they were going to make a run back into this one, where previously they were starting to build up their money, all of those things are gone, and all they've got left is this one good buy for the time being. If they lose this one, then they're going to start to get under a little bit more pressure as Ghosts get further and further towards match point.
Could end up being the map, but too early to tell. 2-round lead, Ghost Gaming. Holding pretty strong on this A site. I was going to say they're holding close on that A site as well.
Yeah, definitely an interesting setup. Edwards lining up the molly towards the jungle side there. Na'Vi's secured themselves. Control of Banana. Not too much utility left. No Molotovs.
Wardell peeking around the side. Flamey thinks he can take him. Big understatement. Kusta will get another as well. Na'Vi on their gun round are left 2 versus 4. The push has to come into 8. 40 seconds. Well, doesn't have to, excuse me. The push has to come somewhere. Running out of time. Simple. It will eventually end up being A, but look at where Wardell is on the back of site. And with the smoke set up there as well, it's going to be very hard to get through. However, Steel is looking only straight ahead. They enter on. Electronic finding Wardell means that Steel is left stranded here for a little bit. The rotation going to come through, but how long? They haven't checked pit. Simple just looking through the smoke and waiting for the peek out there. Through the box, he finds it. Of course, Simple does. It's 2v2. Might not favour someone like Kusta here. Around. Electronic sitting close in graveyard. Neptune is pushing up. Simple. Electronic jumps back down. And he's there right when he needs to. Kusta does find Simple in the end. But it will not matter. He might walk away with the AWP. Yes, he will. All right, calculations obviously in my favour. But Na'Vi get one on the board.
Talk about a duo to be able to convert any kind of 2v4 though there. Simple and Electronic, they got to be pretty high on your list of people to do it. They do indeed convert that one. So Ghost Gaming, though the double AWP was working beautifully for them, Wardell and Kusta both getting a lot of picks there. And let's face it, I mean, a double AWP's going to work pretty good when Na'Vi's running their slower style where they're walking around the map looking for picks, looking for map control. Just that slow crawling pace. But you need to be careful not to get caught off guard with the couple of rounds that Na'Vi throw into the mix every now and again where they go extremely quick and they really death squad, go with the wolf pack and get into the bomb site. But now again, it's a double AWP for Ghost Gaming. Some pretty lackluster weaponry on the rest of the lads and not all the utility in the world, but a decent amount. Definitely a winnable round for Ghost Gaming, especially if these AWPs start to power up. are Na'Vi going to expect the double AWP? They're going to expect at least one for sure. So they're going to be looking to avoid that. But when you're trying to avoid one AWP in a specific part of the map, you're potentially going to be running into the other. And I don't think they're going to expect the double. What a run boost!
Boy, that should have been the kill on Simple as well. That was pretty insane. They will eventually get Zeus. But Simple's been tagged out so heavily for Na'Vi. That might just be leading to the end.
And Wardell, they've got the man advantage, and he's glass cannon aggressive in apartments. What an absolute madman. I would just be really relaxing and putting the brakes on if I'm Wardell at this point, because...
Nah. Electronic burning to death. Meanwhile, in Banana, we were speaking about control. Sub-Rosa doesn't find any, but the damage is across. One taps for both members now, and Edward left standing in full standing at that. Through the wall finds nothing. Kusta again. He'll just have to retreat back to boost up for Neptune. But here comes a hard push here from Na'Vi. They've got plenty of time, but not looking to use it. Edward, down he goes to Neptune. CZ working out good in close range. Both one taps here. 3 health, 5 health. It doesn't matter. Neptune should know this. He takes down one. And Kusta, here's the plant. Pew pew. There it is, but well, Simple's already out. Now this would be a feat. Here's Kusta in con. Peeks around, no scopes it. Wardell there. Oh, the touch and the molly. Okay. He had me believing. That's not going to matter. Ghost. They pick up their round. They put everything into that round as well, so it was a risky one. But Ghost Gaming come out on top.
It's the double AWPs that are just absolutely money again. I mean, in that last round where they had the double AWPs, Na'Vi 2v4'd them. Let's face it, Ghost should have come away with that round as well. But, you know, you can never count out Simple and Electronic. So now, going forward, these double AWPs been very successful. Na'Vi are actually buying up into this one. And this might very much catch Ghost off guard. I don't think they're going to be expecting the buy into this round. You can see Steel even going on the XM there. So Ghost need to be very, very careful here, because there's potential for them to be able to very much be caught off guard by this buy coming out from Na'Vi, by the forced buy with the pistols.
Well, they haven't shown their hand just yet. Banana control still trying to be obtained, and pretty much has been.
Well, Zeus just throws out a decoy there of the AK, so if there was ever any doubt that they were on a buy, I mean, now that has been very quickly dispelled for
interesting decision
very little
making.
reason. Regardless, it's going to end up in a B execute here, it's looking like. Love those retakes. Banana smokes and mollies for Ghost. That's going to keep Na'Vi second guessing. They're going to boost up over the top, so they can for sure see that nobody's coming in there. Interested to see if Na'Vi is going to use some of these smokes to try to bait out what little utility Ghost has on this B bomb site now. I mean, Neptune, he's got a smoke and a molly still left, and they're going to have to deal with Kusta. So this one flashbang that Flamey's got, it's going to have to be absolutely money, or someone's going to be needing to rip his head off very quickly, or he's going to do a lot of damage. Timer running down even lower here. Flamey with the flash to the ready. Simple's got a smoke out as well. What a beautifully timed smoke from Neptune. Don't know how much they're going to be able to make use of that, because no one's actually holding the edge of it.
And it's coming out, but that molly's going to be timed perfectly as well. Somehow Kusta doesn't find that shot onto Zeus. Gets away with it. Kusta finds the second one there, but they're all coming in hard. Na'Vi so quick. Edward just pushes his way through to the back of sight. Still watching Kusta, but watch Neptune and the FAMAS. Everyone gets the cleanup in the end. Timer's run out anyway. And Na'Vi had to make a call, but the rotation from Ghost was just so quick there through the CT side.
Yeah, so you see how effective that flash was from Flamey to be able to really neutralize Kusta. But like you said, the Molotov from Neptune is what saved the round there. Na'Vi, they were really running the clock down. They didn't have much utility to be able to play with. They needed to make the entry on that flash. And Ghost just bought far too much time with the counter flashes coming in from the jungle rotator with that Molotov thrown out beautifully by Neptune. Great work for him to be able to hold on to the utility. And you really have to be able to point to the fact that Kusta throwing out the utility in the mid-round is not something I would usually rate too highly, but it worked beautifully up against Na'Vi there. Really slowed them down on coming into the bomb site. And it's not even like Ghost really gambled or over-rotated to be able to lock that one down. They locked it down with just the AWPer playing from a strong position and Neptune dropping his utility at the right time and having a FAMAS and just one rotation with some good counter flashes. They didn't gamble stack. They didn't do anything too crazy. They just won the round fair and square. And now Na'Vi buying up into this one again. Another slower round with the pistols. Plenty of utility to be able to stop this potential apps bust here from Ghost. Not to mention the fact that Steel has got MC's favourite, the XM, at the ready.
Well, Na'Vi know that this is going to have to be their round. Or at least make some semblance of it. Steel with one.
I think Edward had armor there. Which is going to make that headshot a lot easier to secure with the XM.
Steel leaves it up for Wardell. Meanwhile, after missing that shot, the flash comes through. He slips to the side on Electronic. Zeus trying to get the flank through here and does eventually, but damage done to Na'Vi. Simple drops. Steel comes back around. One last try in Inferno. And Na'Vi, look at their cash. It's like walking into a bank when you say, look, can I get money from you? The guy says that's not how banks work. So unfortunately, Na'Vi, they're the little smartest who walks in. And they're going to do what they can. Bit of utility there. The umpy. But Ghost Gaming looks secure here to take out Inferno, 16-11. We'll find out. Opening there from Wardell. It's simple, isn't it? Coming up through balcony, Edward and Flamey working as a tag team, but they're going to get spotted through here as well. Surprisingly, Wardell doesn't find that shot. Means they can enter out safely for now.
I mean, Navi's got some bracket, and there is only 2 players on this A bomb site, but they're looking confident. Wardell spots out Edward, and he's been given so many opportunities to just walk out and peek with the single scope against Na'Vi in this half in particular. Zeus gets mollied out. Bakusta with plenty of room to run away here. Neptune, easy frag execution into the back of the head. It's looking like this is all she wrote. Electronic 1v5 with a Deagle.
First map. Problem is going to be solved here for Ghost Gaming. Taking down NRG. That was a feat. But if they can take down Na'Vi, it starts here on Inferno. 16-11. And some strong, solid play there from Ghost. Wardell finishes on 25. But the biggest takeaway from that is that Ghost in the early rounds just looked like they were an unstoppable force.
I mean, yeah, it was a little back and forth. Na'Vi did get 11 rounds on the board, but I feel like the real killer from them is something that you see from them quite a lot. It's the aggressive buying strategies. It's the decisions to force buy a lot of the time in rounds where, you know, it doesn't necessarily favor you if you're not able to close them out. And, you know, Ghost just took it and run with it from that point. When they're able to make a lot of their, you know, risky buys work, when they're able to be in a tough position economically, they made that double AWP work on the CT side. But Na'Vi, you have to really point to the fact that not many of those pistol rounds worked out on the CT side where they were force buying up pistol armor. They weren't getting a lot done with it. They weren't getting a whole lot of frags with it, and that was really hampering their utility on the CT side there in a lot of that half until the later portions where they started to get things back together. And on the T side, they had to force buy so much, and Ghost put them in so many awkward positions with that double AWP setup that really matched up well to their slow creeping style. It felt like Wardell and Kusta had so many opportunities to be able to walk out and get picks, and it felt like Ghost was so comfortable holding on to a lot of their utility because Na'Vi's pacing really was quite one-dimensional towards the later part of that T side.
Yeah, we're talking heavily about Neptune and his use of utility in one of those last rounds. It was kind of the game maker for Ghost Gaming, holding on that B site. But still, of course, he ended it the right way. And I think here, now for Ghost Gaming, it's like one step away. It's one step away from securing their positioning at the EPL. It's one step away from defeating yet another favoured team in Na'Vi. If Na'Vi wouldn't make it here, if Na'Vi drop, then everyone's going to be quite surprised. But also, there's the expectations for Ghost moving forward to perform even better.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a shocker if Na'Vi went out in the group stage and didn't make it through to the playoffs and Ghost was able to best them. They're one step closer to being able to do it. They take out Inferno, which was their map pick. Now we're going to be heading through to Train, which is a map that we all know Na'Vi is very, very much comfortable with, but it's not completely out of Ghost's wheelhouse. There's potential here for Ghost to be able to make this one close and even edge out a win with a bit of magic. We'll see how it goes. I'm on the edge of my seat at this point.
Because, I mean, at this point, if we do go all 3 maps, we finish with Mirage. And if we do get to that point, then I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later. However, we are going to take a short break. When we return, coming up with the second map here, can Na'Vi fight their way back? Or will Ghost somehow pull out a 2-0? We want to see all 3 maps. But right after this, it's Na'Vi and Ghost.